Hey everyone, it's the Hey Poopy podcast. What that booty do from poop to pleasure to health. Hosted by me, Dave.
And me, Ellen. Two curious people removing the stigma from your stinker. And why are we doing this? Because we love laughing and learning about butts and helping them to be the best they can be.
Oh yeah.
And on today's episode, we have Hard Cory, who insisted on coming on because he is not only insanely allergic to cilantro and has projectile poopage every time it happened, he eats it, but he also had some crazy stories for us.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Cory is a New York City burlesque staple. He also is a comic book letterer for books like Marvel, DC, you name it, he's probably lettered it. So he is well versed in that world. But he had some great stories. He's a friend, really funny guy. And you're going to hear this clip, which we thought was actually hilarious. So check it out.
And then all of a sudden, I'm like, oh God. And everything starts to shoot out of me. Like it was a plug.
Oh.
Like that comes out and then everything else comes out. And I'm like, oh, good, I'm done. Nope. And I would immediately start throwing up. Yeah. So I'm throwing up now. I barely have time to flush. I'm like, flush, throw up. Oh, no, the other end again.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I think everything's out. This happened like 3 times where I was just going in and out. I am pale white. And then 15 minutes before a doctor finally sees me, oh, you probably had food poisoning. But I get up, we're going to leave, and the girl that came in was like, hey, by the way, I live in this dormitory. You should come visit before I go. Like, my friends, we all start walking up. They're like, did you just get a phone number in the ER?
You had that heroin chic look on you. That you were half dead.
There's plenty more where that came from if you tune into this episode.
Yeah, it was a great episode, fun. I love Hard Cory, and he gave us a really great idea with these butt prints that were behind him that we are soon thinking of a way to spin it into our direction. So do you want a print of paint on my or Dave's butt?
Yeah, or friends that we know, people we've had in the show before, possibly. It's like we're fleshing it out right now, but I think it's going to be pretty fun, and I think you're going to enjoy it.
It'll be in a couple months from now, but
yeah.
If you're thinking about me and Dave's butts constantly.
Yeah, it's
the way Dave and I think about our own butts constantly.
Yeah. I mean, it's always on my mind.
Hit us up, and you can check us out at heypoopypodcast.com for all that information.
Mm-hmm. On to the shit show.
Woo!
Hey Poopy, how you doing? Hey Poopy, how you doing?
I'm just, trying to find a place with like-minded people to talk about like-minded things about me, about poop and stuff.
Hey Poopy, how you doing? Hey Poopy, how you doing?
Oh man, what's this right here? Is this a podcast about poop?
Welcome back on this dump day, people.
Yes, and this is the Hey Poopy podcast with
Dave
and Ellen, and this is episode 141, but it'll always be number 2 to us, our favorite number.
Yes, indeed.
And we have an amazing guest today, Cory Petit, aka Hard Cory. Woo!
Yes, welcome.
Hi, thank you. Well, so happy to be here.
Awesome. We're very
and before
happy to have you.
We go into anything exciting on this show, we love to check in with everybody. So how have you been pooping recently, Cory?
I've been pooping fairly well. I had almost an incident last week, but so I took some Pepto, which usually clogs me up for a while. Mm-hmm. But yesterday I had a big poop day, pooped like 5 times.
Jesus. That's a lot.
And what was the consistency on the Bristol stool chart?
It was all 4s.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jesus. It's like a 20.
Yeah, it was all, but it was just like, oh, gotta go again. I have those every once in a while where it'll be like, oh, it's been 2 or 3 days. And then all of a sudden it's like, nope, 1 day and flushes everything out.
Right. Maximum output.
Then I'm back to my normal once a day.
Okay. So you're usually once a day guy. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool.
And are they usually Bristol 4s?
Yeah, somewhere in there. 4, maybe the one that's sometimes a little harder, but
Only 3. possibly.
I forget which direction is which.
Yeah, 3. If you
One is like nuggets.
Yeah, so it's probably
Okay,
3.
so like usually it's 4s, but sometimes it's 3s.
Cool. All right. Nice. Not bad. That's good. That's a golden standard, number 4. So very proud of you.
And Dave, should we go into what we did yesterday?
Yeah, I feel like this is a
and how
combo.
that experienced our check-in?
Yes, this is a combo check-in. My lovely host brought up this awesome challenge we're going to do. We eat these blue muffins, and she made these insane blue-colored blueberry muffins.
They were neon blue.
Neon blue, yes. They were very
so
blue.
blue that our tongues looked like we'd been blowing Smurfs.
Yeah, our fingers are all stained. The napkins we had are stained.
Our teeth.
Yeah. So
And it looked like Tobias from Arrested Development.
Oh, yeah. We had
splooged
blue
inside of
There was
us.
blue everywhere. It looked like we were eating those like toilet bowl cleaner cakes. Our tongues were disgusting. I mean, actually, also we should add it in that our executive producer Stormy Leather did the challenge with us, so all 3 of us looked like a mess. But the muffin's really tasty, though.
They were delicious.
Yeah, they
I
were
used
good.
gluten-free muffin mix and threw in some blueberries because I thought it'd be funny to have a blueberry muffin. And we ate them pretty quickly. Time stamped it at around 3:30.
Something like that. Yeah.
PM?
3:40 or something like that. Yeah. Right around there.
3:40 p.m. And then, Dave, what happened to you?
Well, at 7:43 a.m. this morning on Tuesday, December. Jeez, I'm jumping ahead. October 19th, I shit a bunch of blue into the toilet. I mean, it literally looked like the toilet just exploded blue. Like, I mean, it was crazy. And I was so excited when it happened because I'd gone to the bathroom late last night around like 10:30, and it was just like the normal brown, like nothing. I'm like, oh, okay, well, we'll see what happens. And then the next morning, bam! So like 16 hours, roughly.
And I was kind of making a loose bet that Dave would win the challenge. Like, if this is a race, who's going to win? Dave won by like maybe an hour. I think Stormy came in second. But I was guessing you would do it in 12 hours, and it was more like 16.
I mean, I probably could have. I mean, sometimes when you do that thing where you're laying in bed, you feel like you have to go to the bathroom, and you're kind of like, I'll just wait a little bit longer. I just want to sleep some more. But yes, 16. I mean, it's pretty quick.
That's a very fast digestive tract.
Yeah, and let me also add 10 minutes before this podcast started, I took another shit and there was more blue. And it was like, as soon as I hit the water, it's just like already like dissipating, and like blue is like the water's turning blue. Everything's turning blue.
Wow.
It's terrible. I mean, had we, if I had some bang my head and didn't know that happened, I would have been like, there's something seriously wrong with me.
You have to tell me how long the blue lasts. It keeps going.
Yeah.
I'm wondering about this now. I'm like,
it was
I feel like for me that would be like, I'm gonna shit blue for a week.
It's a funny premise. So, but Ellen, please share with our audience what's going on with you.
So I woke up in the morning and got text messages right away from Dave and Stormy being like, holy crap, I'm shitting blue, like chunks of blue. And I was like, ooh, I wonder when it's going to happen to me. And so maybe at 10 a.m., I took my first shit around my coffee. Brown. Bristol 4 brown. I took a picture of it. Not even a tinge of blue. Nothing. Then a couple hours later, I had Bristol 6, like a messy Nessie. It was like almost filled the bowl.
That's what mine was, a 6 for sure.
Yeah, but mine was not blue, still brown. I have still not shit any blue. So Dave's digestive tract seems like it's a 16-hour window before shit falls out. Mine, we're going over 24 hours now, still nothing.
Wow. I mean, like I said, we were texting earlier before this, and I was saying Ellen's blue shit is like stuck on the BQE, so it's just like it's in traffic right now. It'll be there soon.
I'm wondering if it'll ever come.
Yeah, Google Maps says 36 hours.
Your insides are dyed blue now. So.
Oh yeah.
Right.
They're completely.
I did have heartburn after eating those muffins, which I haven't had heartburn in a long time. But then also, I'm like, am I one of those tankers off of the coast of LA that the packages just never
Yeah.
going to get here?
Eventually they will. Or they'll absorb into your body somehow.
Yeah, watch I wake up and my skin is blue,
Oh.
you know, like, or I have blue pimples.
You're like that Veruca Salt in Charlie Chaplin, Willy Wonka.
No, it wasn't her. It was Violet. Violet. She's
Oh, right.
Violet.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Yeah.
Hilarious. But yes, that's what we were up to yesterday, and I mean it's a double deuce check-in.
Yeah, we're gonna post it to the TikTok and the Instagram, like a video montage of what we did once I finally pooped some blue.
Yeah.
So
Clock's
hold
ticking.
your horses.
Clock's ticking.
By the time this episode comes out, the video will be hopefully out. But if I never shit blue, then something's seriously wrong. with me.
Yeah. And we should also mention that our partners also did the Muffin challenge. My wife and Ellen's Gerald did it too, and Gerald already shit, like he beat me by he did it like really quick.
Yeah, I think he did it in less than 12 hours.
Jesus.
He ate the muffins at like 10 a.m. last night and was shitting at like 10 p.m. last night. He ate the muffins and probably was shitting around 10 a.m. So maybe it was around 12 hours.
That's
But yeah,
impressive.
his digestive tract is even faster than yours,
That's
Dave.
fucking great. Wow.
And you said that Tiny, what happened with her? She hasn't shit yet?
No, she has shit. And it's brown, no blue.
Wow. So Tiny and I are both stuck.
Yeah.
So interesting.
Now that we got that awesome check-in out of the way, I think that was like one of the better check-ins we've had in a long time. I got to admit, that was,
Google's a blue poop challenge if you all want some more details.
play at home. And then contact us at heypoopypodcast@gmail.com and we'll talk about it. But
yes,
on to our fabulous guests.
Take pictures.
Oh, yeah.
You want to know.
Videos, whatever. Just send them in. We'll figure out what to do with it later.
How you want to do it, Corey? I know you do.
It's interesting.
It's fun. I think it's going to be the big winter thing this year. Everybody's locked down. Like that could be a big winter fun challenge. So, but on to our awesome guest, Mr. Hardcore Cory Petit. Please tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
Hi, Cory Petit, aka the Hard Cory. So I'm a burlesque performer. That's how I know these guys. And I've been performing burlesque for 15 years here in New York City.
Nice.
And also, I letter comic books for Marvel Comics as VC's Cory Petit.
That is so awesome. That's a dream job right there.
It's definitely someone's dream job.
Well, okay. I get it. Grass is always greener, but still.
Some 13-year-old boy's dream job.
I absolutely love my job, but it's not what I dreamed of doing. And in the sense that I love comics and I love lettering but it's one of those jobs where, so I always joke with people who talk about oh, you must have always wanted to do something like this. And I always look back at high school where I wanted to be in comics then. And it was before I went to art school and was kind of leaning toward another direction. But when I was in high school, the teacher asked, he goes, well, what can you do in comics? Like, how do you make a living? And I was like, I don't know. You can write comics, you can draw, you can ink, you can color. The only thing I don't want to do is letter comic books. Which apparently right then and there, I cursed myself.
Yeah. It's just and cut to.
That's Murphy's Law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And
Cory's
somehow
lettered some
I
awesome
ended
books.
up there lettering comic books.
Nice. I mean, you definitely worked on some awesome stuff, but I get what you're saying.
No,
I hear ya.
it's fantastic. I love it. I love working with the group of guys I do, and I've been working with Marvel for 20 years now, so it's fantastic.
That's awesome. That's amazing.
But you said you're Cory Petit DC?
No. The company I work with is VC, Virtual Calligraphy.
VC.
Yeah.
Because I was like, well, you said you worked for Marvel, but then you said DC. I got so confused.
no. Yeah,
VC, like
VC.
Victor Cat. Yes.
Yes, like Victor Cat.
Yes.
But Virtual Calligraphy, so it's owned by Chris Eliopoulos, and I've been working with him for the 20 years they started it.
That's so
Cool.
awesome. That's
Yeah.
very cool.
Cory, I also have to ask, what is this artwork behind you?
Oh, this was from these are from Matt and Julie's Ass Freaks Coney Island show.
Oh, how appropriate.
Yeah.
I know.
So Julie and Sweet Pea 69ing, And
Nice.
this is Michelle Lamore.
Nice. So
Wait,
people,
so did they paint their butts and then put it on canvas?
Yep, and then they auction it off at the end. I have like 5 of these
he's got a bunch.
Wow.
people. Yeah.
I mean, for people listening at home, because this is obviously an audio show, but it looks like a sort of like abstract Rorschach-y kind of painting with like butt cheek like imprints. And then they're fantastic. I've been to a couple of those Ass Freak shows. They're awesome.
Yeah.
We might need to get that tied in somewhere to our show, Dave.
Yeah. I mean, as soon
It's
as
very Annie Sprinkles. Like,
Yeah,
I
you'd
feel
have
like
to. I think they did their finale, their last one, a couple years ago. So you'd have to talk them into doing it again.
or at the very least, Dave and I need to make some ass prints and sell it to our fans.
Well, there you go.
I mean, you frame it, bam, that goes up in a museum. But yes, that's
eBay,
awesome.
motherfucker.
Very apropos for this show. So that's
Totally.
I like it. On brand, as they say.
Yeah. So, Cory, do you have stories for us, or do you want us to ask you some of our questions?
I have some stories for you. So
We love stories.
yeah, here
Let
we
it
go.
rip.
All right. So many years ago, I had to be like 19. Little backstory: we used to have to take trips to Wellesley University with my friend Paul because his high school girlfriend went to Wellesley University, and when he wanted to visit his girlfriend, we still lived back in New Jersey at the time. When he wanted to visit his girlfriend, his parents said, "Oh, you can't go alone. The hanky-panky will happen. Bring some of your friends." If you bring some of your friends, nothing can happen. Obviously.
Yeah, of course not.
Yeah. So he always had to bring some friends along, and I was usually one of them, and me, and then our friend Ian, and then friend Paul, Leo. So one time we're going on this trip, and we decide we're going to go to Fenway Park, and we go out there, we scalp some tickets on the train ride out to the park. We're going out because they're also playing the Yankees. It's before the rivalry really got bad, so no one cared that there was a Yankee, like no one's yelling at each other. Everyone's really friendly. So it was nice. We go out there, and while we're there, we ended up with we're like, oh, let's eat some hot dogs. We're having a good day at the park. Get hot dogs. I'm in the beginning of the line. We're out in the bleachers, so like it's got to be that like you hand it all the way one down at a time, and I'm the last one on the line, so I get whatever one. We ordered like 5 of them. I get a hot dog. We have a good time. Enjoy the game. Now, just pause there for a second. As I said, we would have to go up in these groups, and we would go up every once in a while because they wanted to see each other, and we thought it was fun because you could easily get into Boston, and we would just usually go and hang out in Boston while the two of them were spending time alone. And the fun group of guys we were, the time I went before, we all decided to, instead of going out to Boston, stayed in the dorms and watched the premiere of Voyager. So, because, we were great. We were at an all-girls school dorm, and we just hung out by ourselves watching Star Trek.
Nice.
While we were doing this, we were tossing a little Nerf football around, and one of the guys, while I wasn't paying any attention, drilled it directly into my testicles.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Of which I ended up having a hernia.
Oh, great.
And
Oh my God.
yeah. So I ended up having to have surgery shortly thereafter. And this Fenway trip is the next time I've gone up. It's a few months later. So we have Fenway. We watch the game. Everything's good. We decide, look, hey, let's hang out in Boston for a little while. Let's have dinner. We go to Chicago. We go Uno Chicago, pizzeria.
Oh, yeah.
Uno. Yeah. We go to a pizzeria Uno. We're eating. While I'm eating, I start feeling really off. I don't know what's wrong.
Ooh.
I'm like, something's not right. But, we order food, so I eat it anyway. And I'm like, just keep eating. And by the time dinner is done, I'm starting to feel really shitty. And like Ian and Paul are like, oh, we're going to stay in Boston and hang around and go do things. And Paul and Renee are like, we're going to get the shuttle back to Wellesley, of course, because they want to go fool around in the dorm room. And I'm like, they obviously think I'm going to stay in Boston. And I'm like, I think I'm going to take the shuttle back, of which everyone is confused. But they're like, okay, I guess he doesn't want to stay in the city. And they're like, why the fuck is Cory coming back to the dorms with us? But I get on the shuttle bus, and at this point, something is just so wrong. But I feel so bad. I'm sweating.
Ooh.
Oh, no.
I think I have to shit, but at the same time, what's starting to happen is I am now having throbbing pain, like
Hi.
spasming pain in my testicles.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. So all of a sudden, like, and it would come and go. It would be like every
Exactly where your hernia was?
no, my hernia was slightly different spot, but it was just my testicles would like tighten up and spasm.
Wow.
And then I was just like, oh my God, I have to shit or do something. I don't know what the fuck's wrong. And we get back to the door. I'm just in a fetal position on the shuttle bus. Like, oh God, this is horrible. Just let me get back to the dorms. Maybe it's just I just got to shit. Maybe it's I don't know what this is. I've never felt like this before. We get back to the school dorms, and I'm going, and I'm like, all right, I got to shit. Nothing happens
Oh.
whatsoever. I'm like, oh, maybe I'm going to throw up. Nothing. I can't. Nothing's happening whatsoever.
And are you still feeling the testicle pain?
Oh, yeah. And that's coming and going and coming and going.
Oh, my God.
And it just is getting worse and worse.
Oh.
To the point where I just am in a fetal position in their dormitory bathroom in one of the stalls, like laying on the
Oh,
floor.
my God.
Oh my goodness.
And to the point where I guess it had been like an hour or two. And
Oh my
all of a sudden,
goodness.
like they had gone and started fooling around. And then they realized, what's happened to Cory? And they come in and find me in the bathroom. And they decide, they're like, all right, I guess he's really sick. We better bring him to the hospital.
Yeah.
So we end up going to the hospital, and I'm still sitting here. I'm like, God, I don't know what's wrong. I can't figure out what's wrong. I was like, I'm just waiting there. And it's been about a half hour, maybe another hour if this goes on. And I keep going into the bathroom and coming back out. I'm like, nothing's happening.
Jesus.
And then all of a sudden I go in and I'm like, oh God. And everything starts to shoot out of me.
Wait, did you make it to the toilet at least? Or are you just like,
yeah, I got to the toilet. And it's just like, it was like, oh shit, you're constipated. Like it was a plug.
Ooh.
Oh.
Like that comes out, and then everything else comes out. And I'm like, oh good, I'm done. Like it's just all coming out. It's all coming out. And I'm like, nope. And I would immediately start throwing up.
Oh, so
Yeah. So I'm throwing up now. Like I barely have time to flush. I'm like, flush, throw up. Oh no, the other end again.
oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So then it would be like, oh, I think everything's out. I would go back to the like sitting with my friends. I would have to go back. This happened like 3 times at least, where I was just going in and out. I am pale white. Now I've lost, like, they're like, you look horrific.
Oh, I'm sure. Like, I mean, you probably lost like 10 pounds.
Yeah. And at this point, during one of these goes, some friend of Renee's or classmate of Renee's has come in, and she is come to the ER because she has felt a lump in her breast.
Oh no.
And she wants to get it checked out. Of which point, like, we're doing this and we're just chatting about stuff, but I am still literally going to the bathroom and shitting myself like every 5 minutes.
Ugh.
Of which point I come back out, and then finally, like 15 minutes before a doctor finally sees me, I'm like, I kind of feel fine now. I think everything's actually out. Of which I go see the doctor, like, oh, you probably had food poisoning. And they're like,
for sure.
We don't know why you had any other pain. You're all fine.
Oh, yeah.
They
So
checked me.
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but so is the ball pain still going on during that whole thing, or is it
The whole time. Yeah. Like
shit.
once. Yeah. Yeah. So, and And lo and behold, like, I finally finish. I come back out, and like I see the doctor. I'm done. Like once I shit and throw up, the ball pain stopped.
Oh.
But and then the final thing was literally, I get up. We're going to leave, and the girl that came in was like, "Hey, by the way, I live in this dormitory. You should come visit before I go." And my friends are walking out, like, we all start walking up. They're like, "Did you just get a phone number in the ER?"
You had that heroin chic look on you. Like you were half dead.
That's awesome, though. You got hooked. You got some numbers. You got a number to say.
Yeah.
So wait, how long?
And then as we were walking out, our other two friends finally got to the hospital. They had been in Boston. They had got to the dorm. Our friend Paul had wrote a sketchy note saying, "Took Cory to hospital," and stuck it on the door of the dormitory so our friends would know what happened. But that was all they wrote.
Great.
I'm assuming this is like before cell phones.
Oh, yeah. This is in, like, I want to say 95, 96.
Oh, yeah. Imagine seeing that.
Like,
took Cory
they were
to
just
hospital.
literally like, they just started walking down the street and they asked a driver which direction the hospital was.
Holy shit. Wait, how long were you in the hospital for?
I think I was there for like 2 hours.
Ooh.
Like I was just waiting in the ER for most of it. So
And the doctor didn't know why, like your balls were hurting on top of
nope, they never. And so that's the thing. After that first hernia, for years, what ended up being, until I had the next hernia operation, I always had this throbbing pain whenever I got diarrhea.
Oh shit.
And it would start 2 or 3 hours before. It would get worse. Like I would just barely feel it, and it would get a little worse and a little worse. And I would get this 2 or 3 hours before any time I would get sick.
Oh fuck.
Like, diarrhea sick.
I can't. So your balls were like completely connected to your colon.
Yeah. And so, I mean, essentially, I used to have an early warning system.
Freaking diarrhea.
Yeah. And there was like a New Year's Eve one time when I was going out, and the New Year's Eve thing was like uptown, and I got to like Union Square, and I was like, I feel a twinge, and I go, nope, going home. I just got upstairs, went on the other side, started walking, and that was like, by the time I was walking back to my house, I was like, clinching to hold it in. Like,
wow, so your balls were like
jealous.
Yeah, your balls were kind of like an early detection.
Well,
like,
I don't have this anymore. So because this literally, like, so I got the second hernia operation, and it still was like that a little bit. And then something happened. It was still like that, but it was dissipating. I wouldn't have the ball pain. I would get some slight early warning systems. And then after I got my vasectomy, I don't have it at all.
Wow.
Like they were doing something when I got the vasectomy. They like pulled on. I feel like they pulled on something that must have been connecting
those two,
like scar tissue or something, and it pulled something because it ended up being like after that it was like gun ho, like, oh, I have no early warning system.
It's like they took away your superpower.
Yeah. It also took away the ball pain. So
well, yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, what is it to think when you think about ball pain, you think of blue balls, and like if you ate those blue muffins that Dave and I ate and you had explosive diarrhea like there's some connection.
Yeah. We did a story three episodes ago, roughly, about this guy who was put into a induced coma because he had a PCP and cocaine like overdose thing, and then he had a catheter put in, and so basically. It's like this idiot was like waiting around for like months, I think. But basically, there was some tear in his urethra or some connective area, and then like he was like bits of like feces were coming out of his as he was peeing, and like it was like everything got switched around down there because of
cum was coming out of his asshole and farts were coming out of his dick hole.
Like. I mean, not like it was just this weird shit. Like, and at first I'm like, it just sounded. So maybe there was like some kind of weird plumbing issue that got fucked up when you had your first or your hernia surgeries.
Yeah, I mean that's I feel with the whole mesh hernia stuff. I feel like I don't know, maybe something got like
Totally.
sewed up together, and it was just a little too connected.
Yeah. I mean,
they like anchored it to your colon.
yeah.
Yeah, something.
It's like they were putting down like, what do you call it? A ground wire.
Yeah.
And you just got like, shit, why is this loose wire hanging off here?
I mean, it definitely, it definitely made some interesting times.
I mean,
Correct me if I'm wrong. A hernia is a tear in the muscle, and then all of a sudden organs like pop out. So like,
well, yeah, I mean,
right?
Yeah,
It's like a perforation
for
or
me,
something.
it was the hernia. It was the wall between the testicles and your intestines. So
yeah, it's pretty
So
bad.
maybe like some of your intestines were like in your testicles.
it never was that bad.
Ooh,
Oh, because if it breaks through your testicles, that's like
Really bad.
Like
Yeah.
it's like you have to have immediate surgery, which I didn't need to have
Yeah.
immediate surgery.
oh my goodness.
In testicles.
The second, like the first one was worse than like the first one I had. They were like, oh, I think it was like a 3, and it's on a scale of 1 to 5.
Oh shit, that's pretty. I mean,
Yeah, and they were like, okay, we should do this soon, because I was in pain. That one was like, oh, I'm walking around and I'm in pain, and like my testicles hurt, and I was sore. The second one I had because basically what happens is when one side goes and they repair that, they're like, well, eventually the other side will go.
oh shit.
So I think I had the first one, I was around 19, and I had the second one when I was in my 30s.
Wow.
Wow.
So you lived from 19 to in your 30s with this diarrhea, ball pain.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
And it was pretty.
It's pretty wild.
I mean, there was a lot of times when it was like, oh, I'm feeling something coming on, and it eventually just. I also learned this is how I also learned that at some point in time that I am very allergic to cilantro in a way that it will make me have diarrhea incredibly badly.
like
Wow.
instantly.
Not instantly, but sometimes fairly soon.
Oh wow.
And then because I used to always get sick at least one time when going out to visit friends in San Francisco, and I could never figure out why. And then I realized I was eating all these great tacos that I would load them
shit.
up with cilantro.
my
And then
God.
all of a sudden, like one day, and also like the problem with going out, I used to go on, whenever going on vacation, my whole body shuts down. Like, I'll go on a week-long vacation and be like, did I shit the whole time I was on vacation?
Get some cilantro and clear me
Yeah,
out.
right. That's
That was
crazy.
pretty much what would happen. It would.
Oh my God.
I would, and one of those times was in San Francisco. We'd always go to this one sausage bar in the Mission, and then my friends lived up in Noe Valley, which is, if you don't know San Francisco, it's sort of just directly up the street from the Mission, but it's one of those hills. They live up one of those hills where the sidewalk is stairs.
Oh,
Oh my God.
So one of these times I was like, I'm sitting there, and I had been to, like, years before, I had been to the same sausage bar and got really sick and like clogged up the bathroom line horribly. So this time I felt it coming on, and I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna have to go at some point. But this time it was after my second operation, so my warning system apparently was way off. So I was like, oh, I have like an hour or two. I got at least an hour or two, of which it wasn't an hour or two. It was much like, oh, it seems to be coming on quicker. I better leave the bar. And I was like, there's a bus right a block away that goes up the hill. I can get back to my friend's apartment I'm staying with, and I can get there. So I get out there, and I'm like, and I just missed the bus.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, shit. All right. I still think I have enough time. I'm like, I can walk. It'll be tough. It'll be bad. And I start walking, and I get about halfway to the destination, where it's still not like the steep incline yet, but there's a point where I realize I'm not going to make it up to their house. There's no way. Everything, my system is boiling over. I'm like, I start looking at the streets, and I'm being like, all right, this street seems pretty dark and kind of desolate. Doesn't seem like a lot of people. I'm like just about ready to like, all right, I'm just going to go in between two cars, pull down my pants and just shit all over the street. And I was like, and I'm like, I'm just like looking for the right, like, oh, where's a good space between two cars? And I see on this next block, oh shit, there's a bar up there. I'm like, all right, thank God there's one bar. It looks pretty divey. I walk in, I'm going to order a beer and just not drink it. I'm just going to order a beer, but they're pretty packed. They have like a solid amount of people. So the bartenders were busy, but it wasn't a like packed bar. And I'm just like, I have no time to waste. So I'm like, I'll order it afterward. So I just run into because it was like a long bar, and I walk down the bar, go into the bathroom, and just wreck the bathroom. I shit my brains out, wreck it. Like, I'm like, oh, that's horrible. And as I walk out of the bathroom, luckily no one came in while I was in there. No one else seemed to need the bathroom. So I was able to do it, get it done in peace. And then as I start walking out, and I realize they have a second entrance that is literally right next to the bathroom. And I just walked right out. I'm like, nope, I'm not even going to show myself at the bar.
Did you even flush? You're like, fuck it. I'm not
it was like 2 or 3 flushes. Ooh. Yeah, it was like everything. And then I did finish walking all the way back up to their place. But I was fine at that point. I was like, oh, everything's out. And that's the other thing that, like, instead of when it was like would take 2 or 3 hours, it would also take like another. Once it started, it would take like an hour to ship before I had. Yeah, because it would be like, 3 or 4 rounds of this.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So there would always be times when everyone was like, oh, I'm going to come out to a burlesque show tonight. And I'd be like, nope, never mind, not coming out.
Yeah. Hey, sorry, guys. You can bring a diaper.
Oh, my God.
Just wear a diaper and be like, I'm good.
Is cilantro the only thing that does it to you? Besides a hot dog from a ballpark?
Yeah.
Questionable hot dog?
Yeah, questionable hot dog was really the thing. I'm also lactose intolerant, but, so sometimes, eating a pizza or, having some ice cream. But I don't know, since COVID, my diet's been much better. So, like, things like that don't affect me all that much. But
that's good.
But cilantro still does.
That sucks.
That was what got me last week. Because last week I was making some tacos and I had bought some salsa from the store because I normally have a garden and I just make all my own salsa. But, it's fall now and all the plants have died off. And so I went and bought some salsa and I didn't pay enough attention, apparently, to the label. Because, I was sick last week and I was like, why do I keep getting sick? Like, I was like 2 or 3 days in a row. And I was like, I don't know why I'm sick. And I had only looked at the side of the package. On the top of the container, it's like such and such this, and it's like on the top it's like loaded with cilantro, and I go,
You're like, why am I getting sick? As you keep shoveling like a chip into the salsa. You're like, this is delicious salsa. What the fuck am I getting sick? That's what you're
loaded with cilantro. Now my toilet bowl is loaded too.
Yeah, right. Oh my God, Jesus Christ.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so no cilantro for you.
Yep.
Oh my God, that sucks. I haven't had ice cream in a while, but I think ice cream is fucking me up now. Like, it really makes me shit like right after. It's pretty nuts. So I'm kind of like, I'm a little bummed. I'm doing a bunch of vegan ice cream flavors when I do eat ice cream, and that's not the same.
No.
It's tasty, but I'm like, it's not ice cream.
I will say the years of not being able to eat ice cream without it directly affecting me kind of, I won't eat it as often anymore. I don't have the desire for it.
Yeah.
Though I'll eat it now and be like, it'll still be the thing. Like, I would, like, when it was really affecting me, I would get like the Breyer's little half-gallon size thing, and I would just go, well, it's going to make me shit my pants, so I might as well eat all of this in one giant bowl of ice cream. And my partner at the time would be like, what are you doing? It goes, it was always when she would go out of town. I go, I got ice cream for when you're out of town, and I am gonna wreck this place.
You're like, party time.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I was just reminded over the weekend because I was hanging out with friends of mine who've been in the city as long as I have, and we were like cross-referencing old Lower East Side and East Village like restaurants and bars and stuff that we used to frequent. And I was like, did you ever go to Sandobi? It was this hole-in-the-wall sushi place that had the cheapest fucking sushi, and it was like, because I was like early 20s, so I was like $12 for a salad, sushi, and a California roll. It was so cheap for the time. But every single time I ate it, within 15 minutes, I was in the toilet just shitting my brains out.
Oh God, that is the worst feeling.
I was like, obviously this fish is not good. That's
No.
why it's so fucking cheap. But I kept going back.
Yeah, you're like, it's worth it. You're like, worth it. Fuck it. Gotta eat, you know.
Worth it for this college student to get real sushi.
I mean, yeah,
Oh God.
yeah. That's.
I bet it's the Escola fish.
Oh yeah, right. It's like that white one that always gives people
Oh yeah,
diarrhea.
yeah.
Well, that's the thing with the white fish. They often replace it with the escolar, and which is totally can't be eaten by humans.
Oh, awesome.
The diarrhea fish.
Yeah, diarrhea fish. Oh. Oh God, it's all loose and shit. That's disgusting. That makes me so not want to eat any kind of white fish now. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. Oh my God.
We should do an experiment with that fish. And see how fast.
See, I don't want to be in pain either. But like, yeah, that'd be kind of fun.
Well, it's not even supposed to be sold, the
Oh
escolar.
God.
And that's the funny thing is that at some point I was in a sushi restaurant in Vegas, and all of a sudden it's in one of those like it's like, you know, those lines, it's coming around, and like they have a little conveyor belt of sushi.
Oh yeah.
And all of a sudden they're like escolar, and the person I was with was like, I've never even heard of that fish. I'm like, they're not supposed to sell that fish.
That's just pure poison.
They're like in Vegas apparently it's a cool. They're like, it's nowhere, man. It's not that escrow. It's not that kind of fish. It's a different kind.
We serve you this escalade fish with a side of diaper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You will shit your pants. Cory, do you want us to go in some of our questions? Do you have more stories for us?
I mean, I could tell you one other story about eating cilantro.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Did it end up in your pants?
Close.
Ooh.
But so there's this one time, I was at a friend's birthday party, and it was a bunch of burlesquers, and you know, we went out to a Mexican restaurant and we're eating, and it like we get finished and everyone's going to a show afterward, or they have their gigs that they're going to, and all of a sudden we finish and I go, yeah, I could tell right away, like, ah, shit, there was cilantro in that food, even though I asked if there was, you know, there wasn't any. So immediately I'm trying to like say goodbyes, but be like kind of slick and not be like, oh yeah, I'm not going to go to the show. I'm just going to go home. No, like, I'm not feeling great. And then they're like, oh, okay, good to see you. And then one of the other people is like, oh, well, my gig's right by your house. I'll just jump in the cab with you. I go, okay, sure. We get in the cab. I am holding back this thing, like, so there's just
a tsunami
farts going on in this cab. It is like I'm slowly rolling down my window. The other performer is like on the other side, not saying anything, but like practically in tears. Like she's rolled down the window and is like, like this. The cab driver eventually rolls down his window and is like this. And I'm just like trying not to shit my pants.
Ooh.
To the point where like we get off the BQE, and it's like my apartment was right near there. So like we get off there, and now to be fair, the other performer's gig was like 5 blocks from my house. So like, but we get up to the street before my street, and I just like throw money at her and go, all right, have a good gig. I'm getting out here. And I just start running up the street. Like my pants I'm all bloated. And this, I was like, all right, I'm just running up the street, like pulling off clothes, like outside of my apartment before I even get down the stairs. Like, But I make it in, but it was barely.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
But you know, I was always like that poor cab driver and the other performer. She let me hear about it later on, so it was not.
Yeah, right.
They were tasting your essence.
Yeah, pretty much.
Think it.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
Lord. Okay, Cory. So, what is your favorite brand of toilet paper, and do you put it on the roll over or under?
Oh, I use Scott for the most part. Although I might switch over now. My roommate got this bamboo toilet paper.
Oh
and
shit.
It let me try a roll, and it was actually pretty good. And I was like, oh, I think I'll order that next time I need it. I don't use a lot of toilet paper as it is. Before the pandemic happened, like the February before in 2020, I accidentally not accidentally, but I bought a 20 roll thing of Scott because it was on sale, thinking I needed toilet paper. And I was like, oh, I didn't really need toilet paper. Like I have like 5 rolls left, but whatever, it's fine. I got it for the this year. And then everything happened. That package of 20 lasted me throughout the year.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Ooh, not in my house.
Good deal.
Yeah. And now I'm like, I'm still using like a half a pack I split with my roommate. So I think I have like 3 rolls of Scott left from whenever I bought it at the beginning of this year.
Whoa.
Jesus.
And I think I'm going to switch over to this bamboo one.
Bamboo's great.
Yeah, it is.
We use it on this show because it's one of our sponsors.
Yeah, go bamboo.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Bamboo. Use the promo code. We'll send you the information.
Yeah, it's great.
Right.
It is.
Yeah,
it's fantastic. TP.
And I'm an over. So I have a cat, but she doesn't go into the bathroom. So
right. Okay. Over. I mean, look, over. That's the standard. A lot of people like over. Everybody comes on this show is pretty much over, but
No, not everybody.
not everybody.
We're
not
doing
everybody.
a poll. We're figuring it out.
It's a small percentage of unders.
I definitely have a few friends that like it under, and those friends will come over and during like a barbecue will switch my toilet paper around.
Is that Dave?
I don't do that.
I don't think Dave.
That's rude. I think I've taken one shit in your house, maybe. shockingly, actually.
I'm actually surprised.
I think I can have one recollection of taking a shit on the basement toilet.
Yeah, my toilet.
Yeah, your toilet. So I've never gone to the one upstairs.
Oh, I think everyone else uses the upstairs toilet during barbecues.
Yeah,
that's why it's always people forget there's the downstairs one. That's the safer one to shit in.
The downstairs.
I would
great.
pee in both. That's for sure. But no, I don't think I pooed at your house. But with that coffee rub you put on stuff, I would think that a lot of people would make poo.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
The
coffee rub. I'm essentially trying to get everyone to shit.
Yeah.
Just throw some cilantro on there and you got a party.
I'm good. Yeah.
People listening at home, Cory makes this insane coffee rub that you can put on chicken, you can put it on anything, and it's the most delicious thing you've ever tasted. And
Dave hates coffee, so for him to say that.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that, Dave.
Yeah. That whatever's in there, it's fucking delicious. So
yeah, it negates the coffee for Dave. So
I like it. I like coffee in like Cory's rub. It's really good. I like coffee ice cream sometimes, which I can't really eat anymore. And shockingly, I like a little bit of coffee in chocolate chip cookies.
Oh,
gives it a little extra oomph. It's delicious. Some coffee grounds. Yeah, nice flavor.
I never tried that before.
And Cory, when you wipe your butthole.
Yes.
Do you stand or do you sit?
I stand.
Oh, we have a stander.
Really? You do.
Is this uncommon?
It is not very common whatsoever, but you are not our first one.
You're not our first.
I did not know until like recently. I did not know that was even not a thing.
Wow. So you sit down, pinch it off, and then stand up to wipe.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, all right, so I got the tushy.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Totally. I mean, I still stand up to wipe, but you know,
Do you stand up to bidet too?
I stand up and then I angle it even.
You're like, I'll try. It's like when somebody pours like the wine or whatever, and they like like raise the wine really far from the glass. You're doing that with your butthole, like slowly
God,
seeing how far it'll stream.
That'd be like ass water all over the floor. Oh my god, just you're like horrible. God. It is hilarious.
But yeah, I stand up to wipe. I have, you know, I didn't realize this was.
I think you're like maybe we have a handful of standers, but I mean true standers that this do the full Monty like wipe. I think it's 2 or 3 people maybe.
Oh yeah, I mean it would be it's always like shit. Stand up, start wiping, check out my poop.
So wait,
make sure it's
a real quick callback. So when you were 19, you're shitting your brains out with your suspect hot dog episode.
Yeah.
You're shitting your brains out, then standing up to try to wipe, then sitting back down and standing back up. Was it like a lot of up down? Like you're in a Catholic church?
I think it was more like there was a constant amount of like completely shitting my everything out.
Gotcha. Okay,
but yeah, there would be like I would stand up to wipe.
But you were throwing up too. So
so there are some of those times where I'd get up, start to wipe, and realize, oh, I gotta throw up, and just throw up then into the bowl.
Oh my god.
That bathroom was trash.
That bathroom
I'm
got destroyed.
Really sorry for that ER. I mean, I would if I got anything outside the bowl though, I would clean it up. I was like, all right, I feel really bad if anyone else has to use this bathroom.
Picturing like the custodian staff's like, what the fuck happened in here? Oh my god. Sorry.
Cory, what's your first memory of poops and farts as a kid?
I don't really have any good poops and farts memories that are mine. That are.
You want to share any others? Like, did your dad used to fart in your face like my dad did to me?
No, I don't think my dad did that. I have such bad memory of like my childhood, like of like actually remembering stuff.
Yeah, me too.
Like, so it's like I don't really remember much. My parents, well into now they'll be like, are you ever gonna stop talking about poop at the dinner table? And I'm like, nah.
You're like,
no, my friends have a show about it.
Yeah.
You should listen.
I tell them that. Yeah, I'm like,
I want your dad to call in. Could you stop encouraging my son?
oh my god.
And besides cilantro, what's your best cure for diarrhea or constipation? You were saying Pepto-Bismol?
If I'm really bad with the diarrhea, I'll take Pepto. I try not to, just because I'd rather let everything just flush itself out.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I'll get constipated when I take the Pepto, and then it's like, oh, now I won't shit for 3 or 4 days.
Yep.
Yeah, it really wrecks things down there.
Yeah.
And what about for not besides diarrhea, constipation?
I mean, constipation. I mean, usually if I'm constipated, I could end up eating some cilantro or some ice cream or something like that. And I'm like, well, I'll
awesome.
Evacuate the system.
Yeah, pretty much.
I luckily, knock on wood, don't get constipated that often. So
you're lucky.
The regular amount of, I think fatty breakfast I eat, probably keep that out.
Right.
Good fats.
Yeah, Gerald, that's how Gerald shits very regularly. And what other projects do you like to use to help you with your pooping? We heard about your bidet.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you...
No, not much. The bidet is pretty new. My roommate actually got it for me for a Christmas present.
Nice.
Aww.
And then as I am lazy with anything new, she then, while I went on my first vacation after COVID, she installed it.
That's awesome. I can totally see that, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, she didn't install her. She bought one for herself. Hasn't installed it yet.
Oh, interesting.
I think 'cause it's one of those, like, the toilets are slightly different. She was like, I got a little fed up with mine, so I didn't do it. And then I'm not as good a roommate that way.
Yeah.
So
you're like, cool, thanks. I can enjoy mine.
And do you have anything else to add We know about floor versus pants. It doesn't seem like you did either of those, but you came close.
I did come close. So, isn't floor versus pants though? Normally, I would say like you're gonna get caught. Someone's gonna see it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like whenever I hear you guys talk about that, I'm like, that's like if you're in a mall. So,
Yeah, I mean-
and then it would totally be pants.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like there's no way I'm dropping trow and like put my ass in like a planner or something that.
I mean, we have seen and talked about people shitting in supermarkets and malls.
Oh yeah,
but I mean that's a brave. I mean, I don't even.
No, I mean,
Especially those places have toilets.
Yeah.
Like it's different. Like if you're on the subway, there's no place else to go. You know?
Yeah. I did once consider going on a train, like getting in between the like. Oh, I'll hang on and I'll just go in between it. And I made it. That's like one of those times where like I had the early warning and I was like trying to get back. I was like, I could just go and squat. And I actually did see someone do that in the last year.
Ooh.
Like, I'm like, what's this guy? Oh, he's taking a shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, at least he's not doing it in the car.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta be like stealthy about that kind of stuff
because it was just like those the train cars with the windows that are visible, and all of a sudden, like in the window is a guy's head.
Yeah,
he is
like,
literally holding on.
He's like waving
to like the things that he's just taking it, like squatting and taking a shit.
Yeah.
Ooh.
In like while we're going in between stations.
He's like just taking a shit here, nothing to see. Nothing to see. Oh my god.
But as I always say, if they only had public bathrooms in the subway, maybe this wouldn't be a problem.
Totally.
You would, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
yep.
We are going to segue into this shitty choice brought to you by Bum Boot. No, I'm kidding. Shitty choice.
They might not be our sponsor by the time this episode comes out. So
I know. Well, anyway, you have two choices. You can either A, eat a shit sandwich, which I mean, these are not good choices, or eat 1 pound of any human body part. And it could be any body part. It could be your body part or someone else's body part. Doesn't matter. But that's the choice. Shit sandwich or 1 pound of any human body part.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
I mean, yeah, that's not a good choice.
This might be the shittiest of all the choices.
I mean, is the human raw?
I mean, you can
cooked.
You can, you know what? In this particular case, you decide. You can go raw. You can go microbiotic with it, or you can grill it, saute it, whatever you like.
I mean, I'm probably gonna go human here.
Okay. What body part you thinking though?
Like a chunk off a leg or something. I don't know. Like off a butt cheek. I don't know.
Yeah. A lot of fat back there, so.
Yeah. I'm going to pretend I don't know who this person is. You make it like, off your friend.
Or, sorry, off of someone you don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, here's a pound of human meat.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Or the shit sandwich. I'm probably going to go human meat.
Yeah, this is a hard one, too. I might
At
have
least
to,
then I can say I ate that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go with, like... Yeah, I think I have to go with human too, which is disgusting. They're both disgusting.
Yeah, no,
but I cannot eat a shit. I can't eat a shit sandwich. Like, so.
Nope.
But 1 pound of a human, that is a lot. It's a lot of meat.
It's disgusting.
And it
has to be a meaty part of the human.
It could be any. It could be any body part. It could be any body part. Doesn't matter.
Because I think I figured out what I'm gonna pick.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick human being. But I'm going to do bones.
A pound of bones.
A pound of bones?
A pound
How are you going to get through that?
Bones. I'm going to have it ground up and put into like a protein shake. And that's how I'm going to do it.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm going to have to disguise it.
Yeah. And you get some marrow in there.
I don't eat mammals of any kind, let alone cannibalism.
Well, in this world you are. So ground up bones. I feel like if I just grind up the
dried up old bones and like ground it up and made a protein shake, maybe I could just do that.
I mean, look, it's an awful choice, and we all picked human.
Disgusting.
We all picked human, so
Yeah.
So
We're all
cannibals
like, I'm
now.
not eating a shit sandwich.
Yeah,
No.
exactly. That's anything but a shit sandwich. I'm down with. All right,
I'm just
that was a good.
imagining this is like, some cook show. Like,
Yeah.
you have these options. I mean, this gourmet shit sandwich
Yeah, no.
and this human.
Yeah,
I was
think,
also thinking like, hey, maybe hair, but a pound of hair.
I thought
would
about
be a
that too. You
fuck ton of hair.
would never get
Ugh.
through that. A pound of hair. Oh my god.
That's a lot of hair.
Like we're talking hair on your head, or pubic hair, or body hair,
Can
or
I
a mix.
boogers.
It's
I'll
like
do a pound of boogers.
It's like a mesclun salad mix of like just different types of hair.
I'm gonna be so nauseous.
Yeah, that's a really gross one. Oh, see, that's okay. My job's done there. All right, so let's get into some news here. So this news story comes from the poop section of the New York Post again, and it's kind of keeping in theme with this whole food thing. Cilantro makes Cory shit. We talked about eating human body parts. So this
blue
one,
muffins.
yeah. So this one, I mean, there's no eating it, but man defecates in grocery freezer. Shopper ends up with it on her hands.
No.
Emily Crane, September 15th, 2021, reports that police in Oklahoma are searching for a culprit who defecated in a grocery store freezer after a woman made the revolting discovery when she was reaching for a bag of pizza rolls. Which those are just shit anyway, so it's not like it's
Yes.
kind of the same thing. But the
It's
male,
food you ate when you were 10 years old.
yes, the male was captured on surveillance cameras defecating inside the freezer in the store in Moore on Sunday night, somewhere in Oklahoma named Moore. I have no idea where that is. But Shirley Wright Johnson, who was shopping with her two kids, told KFOR, the station, had ended up with feces on her hands when she reached in for the freezer to grab that frozen food. I felt something mushy on the bag, so I turned it over, and there it was. I was so disgusted. I was almost in tears. Oh my god!
goodness.
And it said the frozen pizza rolls had been just put there to cover up the shit. So someone just fucking opened up the freezer, took a dump, and then walked out.
I wish they had it on video.
I mean, they
what
have
a savage.
they have it on surveillance cameras. So I mean,
they do the shit.
well, they have the guy. Sorry, they have the guy, and they have a photo of the bag, but I don't know if they actually had him on. Oh, after reviewing the surveillance videos, police said the man was allegedly taking photos of women inside the store. The suspect.
And then he got aroused and had to shit
I don't
in the
know,
freezer?
but the suspect
Didn't
left.
choose pants.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he did not choose pants. The suspect left the store immediately after defecating in the freezer. Police said, "Yeah, no shit. He's not gonna stick around." It's like, hey, excuse me, where do you keep the flour? Where's that at? I mean, this motherfucker just shit in the freezer, which is bold move, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just like crazy. And like, imagine walking down that aisle, you're just like, what's that guy doing? But yeah,
Goodness.
it's disgusting. So with that ridiculous story, Cory, Mr. Hardcore, thank you so much for being on our show. We had a great time. And then please, please, please tell our audience, just plug away.
Go.
Let us know where we can find you, what you got going on, etc., etc.
You can find me on Facebook as Cory Petit, CoryPetit. Or you can find me on Instagram, and by finding me on Instagram, I mean you can follow my cat, Fluff, Fluff_the_stray, and that's the only way I'm on Instagram. So
Awesome. Fluff is really cute.
These will all be in the show notes, so check those out for all the links.
Yes, yes. And thanks for laughing, learning everything but with us.
And happy pooping, everybody, and enjoy your butthole.
Yes. For more info, go to heypoopypodcast.com or email us at heypoopypodcast@gmail.com. You can send in show ideas, guest requests. Check us out on Twitter at heypoopy, Instagram at heypoopypodcast, TikTok, heypoopypodcast, and our awesome new Facebook fan page. Go check it out at Hey Poopy Podcast. We're also on Discord at Hey Poopy Dumps, or you can contact us at our new awesome hotline, 203-998-5579.
Hey Poopy Podcast is brought to you by Perfect for Entertainment. Produced by Dave and Ellen. Edited by Dave. Executive producers Stormy Leather. Theme song by Jordan Perlson. Hey Poopy!